Hello FIGGIE collectors, it's me, Danny1000, back again with my continued look at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadrons, micro figure and vehicle assortment from Jazzwares. It is worth noting that I have had a look at the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing and Darth Vader's TIE Advance. So if you want to check that out, my initial thoughts on the line with that one, by all means do so, links up there. And I think in this video we're definitely going to build on those thoughts. Today we're going to be having a look at the Scout class mystery vehicle and figure blind boxes. I have a bit of an aversion to blind box and mystery box, particularly at some of the price points that they're sold at. Although I can certainly appreciate there is a trend at the moment for these things, as if Instagram and TikTok and even YouTube, I'm sure, does seem to ram down my throats as a toy tuber. But people seem to love them, people seem to enjoy opening things in blind packaging or weird quirky ways that they've been packaged to get the item they've actually paid for. Although the experience of blind box seems to be more about the experience of that itself than the thing that you're actually going to get. Here we have the blind box for the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron series. Now these come in cardboard boxes. You've got Star Wars, some TIE fighters and X-Wings duking it out. This is from series 1. Got the logo there. I do like the foil sort of shininess. You've got, mystery. What are you going to get? And this is one set of a figure and a vehicle. Choking hazards, not for people to eat or put in their mouths. You've got the assortment that you can get, which we'll get into shortly. The class that this is, so it's Scout class, and logo and nice imagery on the side there. Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron, and on the back just got logos and legal McGuff. So that's the packaging. Now this is where part of my issue does lie with this series, as it is blind boxed and randomised as to what you're going to get. Number one, for me that just annoys me, because if you're paying what these are RRP'd at of £5, near enough, I like to know what I'm actually going to get. Second to that, people can be absolute knobs. I can see people very much easily just tearing that seal, wiping it open in store, checking to see if it's the one that they want, or more importantly, the chase variants, which we'll get into shortly, and getting what they want, reducing other people's chances, not really playing the game, which didn't really need to be a game in the first place, but I digress. Naturally, that's going to really just entice scalpers to go through boxes rather than buying full boxes to get the one that everyone's hunting for, the chase variants, list them on eBay and get a hefty, lovely little markup for themselves. Just have a little sip of that cream, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into the actual assortment, and this is where part of my problem lies as well, is the fact that you've got 8 vehicles and figures that you can get. So you've got Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike, Darth Vader's Speeder Bike, Ahsoka and her Speeder Bike, Din Djarin Speeder Bike, Clone and AT-RT. And then in terms of the chase variants, these are the more rarer ones. So you're more likely to get these ones around the box here than these ones here. So you've got Scout Trooper with Grogu, and the Scout Trooper Speeder Bike, rather than being brown, is the white, like it's seen in Mandalorian. IG-11 with a Speeder Bike, and Cobb Vanth with his Speeder Bike. I don't know what the ratio is to cases as to what you'll get, although I feel like any one of these 3 will be like 1 per case, so you're not guaranteed to get, if you did buy a full brick as they're called, full of boxes of these, you're not guaranteed to get every single one here. You'll probably get a couple of versions of these, and then maybe, if you're lucky, 1 or 2 of these ones here. I'm not too sure. Kind of annoying though this, because you've got 3 main characters that are commons, and then 2 army builders. Naturally, when I picked up my first 2 boxes of these, so we'll go with this one first, see what we've got. I know what this one is. First pull ever. We've got Ahsoka, number 2. It's not Maul, but we got Din, the Mandalorian himself. I was dead chuffed. 2 that I was kind of wanting. I was more fussed about getting Maul than anything. But alas, 2 characters that I weren't expecting to get. I got them. So naturally the FOMO started to grow because that's how they get you with these blind boxes. I saw on Smith's Toy Store that they were starting to run out of them, so I went in, picked up the last 4 boxes that they had just as a bit of a punt, a bit of a stab, and just to show these off to Siflaw229 because he wanted to check them out as well. And we did a bit of an unboxing, and alas, I got 2 Scout Troopers and 2 Darth Mauls. Why? Alas, 2 Scout Troopers isn't too bad because I can use them if I did decide to get the troop transport, of which that vehicle you only get 2 Stormtroopers. So naturally you're going to want more Stormtroopers to fill that thing. And likewise, I'm sure other vehicles they release, you're going to want more miniatures to fill your little vehicles and whatnot if you do or are inclined to do that. So I want to fuss about the Scout Trooper, but Darth Maul, it's kind of annoying. I think if they'd done more army building stuff with this and then had, in terms of like these 3 main characters as the chase versions to like really hunt for, I'd really get that. I'd understand that. That's my biggest draw away from those and this line in general. Really, it's what I'm kind of against with in terms of these blind boxes. Have it still as a mystery thing when they're lined up like that, but then you can see on the back as to what you would actually get. Maybe, I don't know. Answer on a postcard with that one. Maybe I'm missing the point and joy of blind boxes, but I don't dig it. I don't dig it, particularly with stuff like this and the price point that you're paying for. I like to know what I'm going to get. But nonetheless, that does sort of go to a sentiment as to how I feel with the line in general. Not only with these blind boxes and actual standard vehicles and sets, they are a smidge overpriced. And I think if the other larger vehicles included display stands and things like that, I'd be a little bit more on board with those. You know, they'd justify the price point slightly more. Luckily with these, they do actually come with display stands, all bar, I think, the AT-RT just can stand on its own. But the actual hovering vehicles, they come with display stands, of which I think is absolutely fantastic. Just wish the main assortment did come with that as well for whooshability and displayability more than anything. So enough of my waffling tangent, my little tirade. I do have to say I really do like these with the price completely out of mind. Starting off, we'll have a look at Ahsoka, of whom was the first one I pulled out from my unboxing. And you know, really dinky, really small, quite delicate in terms of how you can pose them onto the speeder. There is a high risk that you will knock them off, but as a little display piece, a little desk buddy, cool. I'm down for these. And just getting new characters that we haven't got. Just not a big fan, like I said. Again, of it being blind box. So you've got Ahsoka with her little speeder bike. And the cool thing about the display stand is, if you just hop the figure off that, you've got a peg so it can sit like that. And then for kids, there's a little peg here. And you just attach that under the bottom there. And this is the same with all of them that you get in terms of the display stands. You can have it, you can wash them about like that. That's kind of cool. I think it's a nice little concept that they included there. You know, multi-purpose rather than just being a display stand. The display stand themselves are a little bit oddly shaped. So that might do some people with OCD in a little bit. We've got the Star Wars logo there. That's kind of cool. Very Star Warsy design. Would have been nice if there was some kind of clip for the actual figure itself, but alas, it is what it is. My favourite, easily, the Mandalorian and his speeder. So you've got him out. The detailing on that minifig is absolutely impeccable. I'm really thrilled with that. You can kind of see his blaster and his holster. You know, it's not amazingly painted, but for something so small, it does the job. But there's his speeder, kind of like the one that he rides on Tatooine. His cape as well is removable. I don't think he's really meant to be displayed wearing it while riding the speeder bike. It does sit on via a little peg and peg hole. If we just remove that out, you can see the little peg hole there on the back. The cape just clips on. If these were £3, I'd be all over them. I'd be more inclined to recommend them, and particularly if the assortment wasn't so main character focused. Next up, we'll have a look at the Scout Trooper. These are pretty rad, I have to admit. Like I said, not too fussed that I did pull 2 of these, just because you do want a bit of an army of them. So there they are. Not too much paint going on the speeder or on the minis themselves, but the detailing's there. It's what it needs to be at this kind of scale and for what kind of product it's meant to be, so that's fine. Like I said, there is the chase variant of the Scout Trooper where it does come with a Grogu or Baby Yoda, of which is either sculpted on the speeder bike itself or the actual Scout Trooper. There's the Scout Troopers there, they're kind of sweet. Again, you can sort of inhabit your troop transport with these if you did wish, just because we are needing some stormtroopers. I think, to be honest, if they just made these packs 4 or 5 stormtroopers, clone troopers, things like that, that would be even cooler. You know, it might make for more of an impulse buy, because, you know, who cares if you get a duplicate of stormtroopers, because obviously you want to army build them. Last but not least, we have the Darth Maul on his Sith speeder. This was the one that I was really wanting because I'm a big Darth Maul fanboy. And I love that on the Darth Maul, they've sculpted in his lightsaber. You've got the hilt there in silver. What would have been a cool bonus would have been the probe droid. But those would be very, very tiny, very, very small. I don't think you'd really be able to do it. But it would have been cool if they could. But nonetheless, yeah, really like that one. And glad I got it, just not too infused that I got it twice. But it is what it is. And I'm kind of pleased with it. All these are really, really great. If they tightened up some of their decision making across the board, this line would be absolutely phenomenal. They're almost there. They're almost on the verge of greatness. But just some slight tweaks to this line would just make it absolutely incredible. A must-have for any Star Wars collector. But they're just slightly missing the mark at the moment. I really do want to see them get there. I want to see them with these little tweaks that I'm sort of recommending. I'm sure many other people have as well. They'll get there and the line would be a hit. An absolute swing and a hit. But as it stands at the moment, it's all right. It's just all right. In terms of blind boxes, I'm never really going to be a fan of them. I'm very sceptical of stuff like this just because I know what people are like and what scalpers are like. But I think if they were also priced a little bit cheaper, I'd be a bit more on board with them. £2.99, £3 mark. Be a bit more there, a bit more on board with this. That's my look at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Mystery Minis. Hope you enjoyed that quick little look at those. And this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out, and thank you very much for watching.